Hi, my name is Copper, Crystal Copper. I haven't existed for very long yet, but so far I've had a pretty eventful life. It all started when my moms, Jenna and Emily, found their love for chemistry and decided to make me out of love, but also copper 2 sulfate, pentahydrate, and water. In the beginning, they thought they had it all figured out with their solution containing 32 grams of copper and 25 milliliters of water, but it wasn't as simple as that. That solution ended up making me into an ugly, thick, sand-like solid. I looked like wet sand. Look at me. After that, they decided I was too supersaturated. To fix this major issue, they tried adding 27 grams of copper to 25 milliliters of water and heated it to 80 degrees, but that still didn't work. After many trials, my moms finally found the ratio of 16.03 grams of copper and 25 milliliters of water and heated to 60 degrees. And that ended up making me the most beautiful blue, non-viscous, supersaturated solution. I think this color really brings out my edges. In all the attempts to make my perfect solution, my brother Crystal was made. He was an accident, but don't tell him. He was found at the bottom of the beaker, but with decent shape and a good size for tying. He was used as my parents' test trial for all my solutions. Poor guy. But thanks to him, my parents could figure out if the solutions they made were suitable to grow me in. Once they found a good solution for my growth, they began to grow small versions of me called seed crystals. After trying and trying, they had no luck and started to run out of time for my growth, so they decided to adopt me, just like my brother Crystal. I was found at the bottom of the beaker too. I was a little too big to be considered a seed crystal, but I was still loved and treated the same as all the other seed crystals. Once I became the chosen one, my parents started to grow and nurture me. I sat in a beaker containing 16.03 grams of copper and 25 milliliters of water for a week. Super boring for me, but my parents were glad to see me grow. After a while, I started to weigh about 0.81 grams. Since I was growing bigger, my mom's doubled my solutions and let me grow again. After 3 days of growing, I gained a bit of weight, making me 0.93 grams. Then after 2 more days of growing, I weighed 1.95 grams. I guess you could say I was a tiny bit small for my age, but I only cared that I grew a tiny bit. My solution really liked oxygen though, and it kept reacting with it, so it was turning me green. My parents didn't like this, so they kept filtering me, and the green eventually went away. Although they did quite a bit of filtering, I still was a tiny bit affected by the oxygen reaction, and I also turned a little green. To try to fix this, I was dipped in distilled water and then lightly rubbed with paper towel. I turned into a dark blue, opaque, 2.24 gram crystal. Most of my edges grew clean cut with great shape, but I did have a few problems. I had a tiny tumor on my side, and one of my edges was questionable. But overall, nobody's perfect, and I've embraced my imperfections. Now I'm being observed in some kind of beauty pageant by the super cool chemistry teachers who have been there for me my whole life. Hopefully they like me. All in all, this month has been one heck of a ride.